So, what I've learned from dating recently, I am the red flag because I will not date a man with children, multiple baby mothers, multiple divorces. I will not date a man that is not a legal U.S. citizen. I will not date a man who is telling me he is financially broke and wants to have a family who lives with his parents or roommates. And I just called out a guy because he sent me pictures and it's like, I'm not sure why would you send me a picture of you in your bedroom at your sink where you have a sink open to your bedroom. That's like something I feel like you should work towards, because like who wants to live somewhere where you have a sink in your bedroom? Because that just seems like a hazard to me. And it was like I pointed out, like, you have a sink near your bed. And it's like, I don't want to see your dirty sink. I wouldn't send you a picture of my bathroom sink or in my bathroom. I don't want you to send me one of yours. And then when I'm not into guys sending me the dick pics, and I want a guy to have a job, have his own place and all that stuff and be independent. I'm looking for a guy to be like me, financially stable, independent, can pay your own bills, and all that basic stuff, and where you don't need a roommate or a parent or somebody to lean on. You can pay your bills by yourself. Because I'm looking at it this way. Are you really looking for a relationship if you need a roommate to help you pay rent? Or are you just looking for a roommate and saying you want to get married or be in a serious relationship because otherwise you'll be homeless if you're not, because you need help to pay rent? I'm not in that situation where I need to be in a relationship so I won't be homeless. I have my own place. I live alone. I pay all my own bills. And because of where I live, I choose not to have a car, because why pay for a car if the transportation is still good? But I'm still debating on that, because they're talking about major transportation cuts on the news. Like, I heard they're possibly cutting BART, and they're possibly cutting Caltrain and Muni. And I'm kind of considering moving to the Central Valley, a little farther south. So, I don't know. I'm considering a car, but it's not out there. But then also the price of gas and all that stuff is expensive. So I'm considering it. But then also, if I'm considering it, I'm also considering a cheaper lifestyle by moving to the Central Valley. Yeah, so men are explaining to me why I'm a red flag. Oh, and there was this funny one this weekend on Tinder. So on Tinder, I'm talking to this guy. I thought he was Nigerian. He looks like the guys that message me that are Nigerian. He's wearing the chains and all that stuff. So I'm like, are you Nigerian? And then he's like, I'm offended. And it was like, okay, because you're only looking at the bad side of the Nigerian stuff. Because I was thinking, like, Nigeria, some people might be a little flashy, but like the women, especially the women, like the clothes, the makeup, Nollywood, great. Yeah, because it's like the way the Nigerian makeup and stuff, it's like you see them before, you see them after, they look like a completely different person, like a million times better and all this stuff. And then the clothes and everything that are just like so beautiful in Nigeria. So I didn't think he was dressed all that well, but I was like, you look like some guys from Nigeria that messaged me. And then he was like, he saw that as an insult. And I'm like, he was like, people think you're Nigerian, African scammer. And I'm like, people think I'm from like India or like Ethiopia, Eritrea, somewhere over that way. And I take it as a compliment because people say like the women in India and East Africa are some of the most beautiful women in the world. I take it as a compliment. You tell me that, I'm like, thank you. And people think I'm from other places too. People generally think I'm from somewhere around South Asia, Middle East, and all these other places, and from the Pacific. So it's like, I'm cool with that. And all these places, they say people are generally like really beautiful. So it's like, I'm taking it as a compliment. But he did not take it well. And then he started talking about daddy and stuff and saying stuff. And because his grammar was so bad, I thought he was saying I was a trans man, or wait, no, trans woman. And then I'm confused because his grammar is bad. Then he goes off on me and starts calling me names and like weird and all this other stuff. And then so I ended up blocking him. And then there's this other guy. He keeps messaging me because at first he started messaging me like a year ago. He seemed nice and everything. And then all of a sudden he started messaging me about sex. And I'm like, why is this man messaging me about sex before he wants to be my boyfriend? Now he just wants to talk to me about sex and have sex with me. And I'm like, no, thank you. And then I was talking to this one guy, but he seems to have had a lot of sexual activity, and it seems like he's probably looking for sex, but he's like, he wants to get married and have a family, but he's not sure if he wants a wife or a baby mama when I asked him, because he's looking for like threesomes and all this kinky stuff. And I'm like, I'm not into that. And he says he's very successful and has his own business. And we were talking, and it's like, huh. And it seems like he's looking for a stay-at-home wife. And that just seems like a red flag to me, because if he's this successful, lives out in a remote area, and he's looking for a wife, and he works at all different times and expects sex like 3 times a day and wants to have kids and a farm, and I'm like, I want to work, and I'd have to leave the area to work. And yeah, I don't think that's going to work out. But, oh, I have another video coming up, and I'll talk about this. But, yeah, it's interesting, but in all these situations, I'm the red flag. But pretty much all these guys were looking for sex. Oh, and the guy that was showing the picture in the bathroom, he was in his underwear with what looked like a boner, and it was small. But I'm the bad one in all these situations. And then the Asian guy from the ghetto who lives with his mother and his sister, he messaged me. And I guess because he said he found somebody, because he was trying to make me jealous, saying he found a white girl with big boobs. And I'm not sure why. Because before he even said to start saying crazy stuff like this, I tried to hang out with him, but he's like, I can only hang out at midnight at your house. We can only hang out at your house. And it's like, okay, that's a red flag. And it's like, huh. I don't know. Yeah, because when someone starts acting like that, I can only hang out at midnight at your house and late night at your house. It was like, when I was younger, I used to hang out with people at like midnight and stuff, but we used to go places. and meet up at places that were open. Like, no one was ever like, oh, you have to meet at my house. But it's interesting. So, I'm single, and some people might say I have prospects because I've talked to a lot of people in the process of talking to people, but I'm saying I have no prospects at all. And it's weird. You could be talking to like 20 or 30 guys and you're trying to fill them out, see how things are going, but then you realize, yeah, like these 20 or 30 guys, there is no prospect at all. But if you like, watch and subscribe. Bye.